Hey, everybody, welcome in right about now. Jason Suel joining you along with the one, the only Betsy Rawlings, back again for another edition of the show.
Cannot get rid of me.
Betsy, no, I feel like you can't get rid of us. We love having you on every time you bring such insight. Last time we did a little yum or yuck sort of tasting session, and I decided that everything was yum.
It was all delicious. It was all delicious. And I thought really hard about bringing us some food in today, and then I ran out of time.
Hey, let's dive into that a little bit. So
Let's
this
do it.
week, and I don't know if you can tell, but I've been suffering a little bit from a sore
A
throat.
little bit. I did catch on to that.
It's good. I'm good now. No pain. No razor blades on the throat
Ugh,
feel.
it's the
But
worst.
what's the best? What's the most soothing thing for a
Gosh.
throat? What do you think?
So I love a good cup of hot tea. It's
Yeah.
the one time that I'm really, really into tea for a sore throat.
Sure.
Putting some honey in it, I always feel like is really good. I actually had, because this sore throat thing is going around, kind of everybody has it.
Right.
One of my friends said the other day, she actually bought some chloroseptic from like when
Old
we
school.
were kids.
Yeah, old school. Love
And
it.
I immediately,
Is it
my
the
brain
same?
immediately could remember exactly what that
Yes.
tasted like. And she said, yes, it is exactly the same. It tastes like numbness,
Yeah.
which is lovely. It numbs your throat
Yep.
right out.
Numb that
but,
thing.
Ooh.
What about food? So, like, at some point, you got to eat, right? Although your body is
Yeah.
saying, hey, don't eat. You
Yes.
got to put something down your throat at some point.
I
So,
always feel like yogurts.
yogurts?
Um,
Do you have any idea if cold or warm are better? Like, I always think soup. If
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to have
think it
like a
kind of-
tomato soup or a chicken noodle soup. or something.
I prefer, a warm something when my throat hurts.
Right.
I have a feeling that's probably why soups kind of became a sick thing.
Yeah, that's
besides
what you have when
warming
you're
your
sick.
body
Right,
up.
sure.
But to me, warm. I don't know medically one way or the other
Yeah.
if it makes a whole lot of difference. But I really like a good soup.
I liked them both. I say, this is
Mhm.
the first time I've had a sore throat that for some reason I was craving ice.
Okay.
And I would just put ice chips in my mouth and let them dissolve, and they would, it's
Yeah,
like having
nope,
a
I
lozenge
totally
or
get
something.
That. Yeah, that makes sense.
But the temperature, for some reason, helped me like stifle the cough. I didn't feel like I had to. I don't know. Something
Okay.
about it was working, so I just stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean, stay with what
What you
does
know.
it. Jello is always another good one.
Jello, Jello.
I only ever think about Jello when
when you're
I'm sick or someone's in the hospital.
This summer we went through a little bit of a phase where we went and got the prepackaged gelatin
the ones in the
little
like lunch cups.
lunch cups.
Yeah.
Yes. And hey, I don't hate it. I'll say that.
Nothing against a prepackaged, nostalgia
N-
bowl.
Prepackaged nostalgia. But
That's-
basically everything is prepackaged nostalgia because I
It
feel like
is.
when I cook something, it's probably something I had when I was a kid. I'm not seeking out new opportunities for prepackaged things.
Are you still getting like the hamburger helper boxes?
Every once in a while. Why
That's-
not?
I mean,
Why not? What and those
not
oh,
everybody can be me and make it just
That's
without
right.
the box.
what about in the summer? What are those things called? The long thin things that are ice that are popsicles.
Oh, I
You
feel
know,
like they have
it's in
like,
like
a
a
bunch of
tube.
different Otter Pops.
Something maybe.
I feel like there's quite a few different names for those
them.
things.
I remember having
That's
those
just
as a
when
child.
I think of summertime popsicle though.
That's it.
We get them every year.
Yeah.
We get them every year.
There you go. Do they sit in
Ice
your
pop.
freezer?
Is it
Ice
just an
pops.
ice pop?
Yeah, just an ice pop maybe.
Yeah.
Do they sit in your freezer for a while or do they like go like that?
So the first round they always go super super fast,
Yeah.
and so then I immediately buy them again because I'm like, oh,
Right.
everybody
And
loved
then you're
them.
like,
We're gonna get them again.
now we have
And,
240 of these and you can't get rid of
6
them.
months later,
Yeah.
we've still got all the orange ones.
I know.
It's like, oh,
Same.
okay.
Well, here's a little roadmap. A couple of things we're going to look at today that I am excited to talk about. Emmy Awards. Emmy Awards
Mhm.
ceremony happened, so let's talk about that. And then there was a surprise trailer that dropped this week for an Anaconda reboot. Yes, I'm talking about Anaconda Nostalgia 1997, Jennifer Lopez. We are revisiting that movie, so we're going to talk about that. And then you brought us our attention to something about Birkenstocks as well. So a little collab happening, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Birkenstocks is coming up with a lace-up style.
Lace ups. Can it be called a Birkenstock if it's a lace up? I don't know.
I don't
Things-
think it
I-
can
mer-
be, but
mutually
apparently they
exclusive.
think it can be.
Mm.
I don't know.
Hey, I guess they're the people who know, right?
Putting it in sport mode.
Well, let's just dive in with that. Let's talk about Birkenstock. You have
do
piqued my interest. So,
Okay.
what do we need to know about these Birkenstocks?
Okay, so Birkenstock, the brand, everybody everybody knows and
Everybody
has
that knows
been
it.
around forever and ever. They are creating, they're redefining some of their look, and they
Okay.
are creating a new platform called Ensemble 1774, centered in a Paris-based creative studio. Um, they are collaborating with different designers to come up with reimagined versions of the classic existing models. One of these versions is completely lace up.
Look at this.
If you can, yeah, did you bring up the
Yeah,
pictures?
yes, I've
Okay,
got the
so
website up here, and I'm just clicking around on some photos.
one of them, so there's this brown pair that they're showing here, and I feel like those look like old man sandals. But the
the ones
lace
that
up
they don't
pair,
the lace ups, I don't hate them.
I don't hate those.
I was prepared to hate them. I gotta be honest. And then I see these photos, and I'm like, you know what?
And then you go along. So some of these, I don't see Birkenstock at all. I would
Right.
never look at this shoe
Same.
and think Birkenstock. It looks like a designer lace up
Yeah.
fashion shoe.
Yeah. It looks cool. There were these shoes. The first time I went to Europe, there were these shoes, and I think they probably still exist. They're called campers,
Okay.
and they were rubber shoes, and they were really big in Italy. And I don't know that they ever made much headway being popular here in the United States. However,
Did you have 10 pair?
no, I just had one pair, and I
Ah.
still have that pair. But these shoes kind of remind me of those, where you can't really see a logo on the outside, which I have to be honest, I really like that. I'm not a big fan of logos.
You know,
in general.
I actually really like that as well. When I find a brand I really like, I will stick with it, but I don't necessarily like the brand on the outside. I'm pulled up these camper shoes.
Campers, yeah.
They do have them in the US. I like these.
They're cute. They're
I'm
cute, aren't
digging
they?
'em.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I can pull that up so we can see what compare. I mean, they're not the same, but like,
No, but that's a neat little pair of shoes.
yeah.
I like them.
Are you a big, just in general,
Mm-hmm.
do you collect shoes?
Yes,
How many shoes?
a lot. A lot.
You don't you can't even give me a number.
I can't. I'm trying
And I
to
got
think.
to click through all these
But
ads.
here's the thing is that they are not like, because of the nature of my job.
Oh, you have to buy shoes.
No, they're just all.
Yeah,
excuse
you should use that as an excuse.
However, I have so many different types of sneakers and athletic shoes.
Okay.
I have ones that you are like you actually work out in, and then I have ones that are cute.
I know that you can't see what I'm looking at right
I
here.
cannot.
But this shoe that I've pulled up is almost, I'm not going to say identical, but very similar to the ones we were just looking at
Mhm.
from the Birkenstock collaboration.
Mhm.
So anyway,
There's these can't. I'm like, I might have to order me some of these
Yeah,
camper shoes.
they're cute.
These are fun.
yeah, fun shoes. But shoes are a big conversation point in our house as well.
I was gonna ask, do you collect shoes?
I love shoes. I love shoes. I don't have as many pairs of shoes as the other people who live in my house. And I feel like I'm always like, all right, I'll not get a pair of shoes so that you can get a pair of shoes. But the pair of shoes, when I get them, the problem is that I go running so often, right? And so my running shoes will last me about, I'm going to say 3 months, almost on the nose, 3 months.
sounds
which
about
means
right. If you are a regular runner, yes.
They last me 3 months.
Mhm.
And then they start to, the bottom starts to wear off. And I can feel that in my gait when I'm running. I'm like, I'm not right. My
You start to get
hip
that little
hurts.
hip wiggle.
Yes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is wrong. I need to get a new pair of shoes.
Mhm.
Get a new pair of shoes. The problem is fixed almost instantly.
It's amazing,
Um,
right?
you
When you
gotta
have a
have the
good
right
pair
shoes.
of shoes.
Yes.
Now that's nothing against the cheaper fashiony
Sure.
shoes. I love those
Yes.
too. But when you have a good quality pair of shoes that fit your feet right,
Yes.
whether you are running or walking or just standing in them, it makes
It makes
such a
all the
difference.
difference. It makes all the difference. And so because those running shoes are so expensive, it's like I get
Mhm.
the hard part is my closet doesn't fill up with shoes, right? Because like those are gone after 3 months.
Yes.
And so I'm just staring at the same fashion shoes that I always wear while
See,
cycling through 4 new pair of running shoes. a year.
you can use the same excuse I use in that your shoes are
Work.
seen at work.
That's
you
right.
need them for work.
They're- Do you know how many people see me out running? I can use that excuse. And then
That's
they're
true.
like, I
Yeah.
know who he is. And oh, look at his
Look, he is
shoes.
still wearing those shoes.
Man, Asics and the other brands that I wear should be paying me.
They totally should be.
You know what I'm saying?
Sending you the latest color designs.
Yes, man, I would love it. I would love it. Although I'm not in love with the shoes I have right now. I've got to be honest. I think that the
Okay.
pair that I had before this current pair
Mhm.
was tops. They were probably the best running shoes I've ever had. And I knew if I got anything different that it was not going to be as good.
And you did it anyway.
I did it anyway. I tried a new brand, a new shoe altogether. I saved a buck or two. See, that's the problem.
See, there it is, right there.
And I was like, I'm going to, I can walk it back because those last ones were so expensive. I was like, I can walk
Yes.
this back a little bit. And now I'm like, ugh, why did I do that?
Regretting
Regret.
every mile you run.
That's right. Yeah. It just doesn't feel the same. They're still great shoes.
Mhm.
I would recommend them to people who are probably getting into distance running.
Yeah.
They're very responsive, the shoes that I have now. They're Adidas. I've never had a pair of Adidas endurance running shoes.
Yeah.
So this is the first pair.
I do like Adidas. A lot
Yeah.
of my athletic shoes are Adidas. But like I said, every foot is different.
Every foot is
and when you
different.
find something you really like, it is hard to find to move.
It's
away
hard to
from
top it,
Yeah.
I mean, I just ran that marathon and they were like, the brand is Saucony's, right?
That. Oh yeah.
And man,
That is that shoe has been around for a long time for a reason.
I've never felt like I was running on a cushion so much. So they're
Mhm.
very forgiving in the cushion, whereas the ones I have now are not. They are a little bit more built for your build, like, what's it called? Your acceleration. They're built for
Yeah.
acceleration,
So
right?
they're not a distance shoe. They're more
Right.
of a speed shoe.
They're a speed shoe, and so they're helping me.
Okay.
One of the things I didn't like about those last shoes
Mhm.
was that getting me around like corners. They weren't very forgiving on like turning.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
These shoes
yep.
are real. I don't know. You can just make a little quick turn.
Well, maybe you need to keep exploring.
Maybe
trying
I
some
need to
different shoes on.
Run in some campers.
Maybe.
Okay, so now that I've gotten that off my chest, we got tons more to look forward to. We're going to be talking about the Emmys. We're going to be talking about new Murderbot book that's coming up, a couple of new movies that are coming out, including the Anaconda one, maybe something that's a bit of a throwback to nostalgia that Betsy's going to bring to our attention later. So stick around. We got all that fun happening right here on Right About Now.
2, 3, 4.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. A little Right About Now for you, wherever you're tuned in, watching. We appreciate your support. 479 First, Betsy joining me today, and we're going to break down the Emmys.
The Emmys.
What did you think? The Emmy Awards happened.
So I always enjoy watching the Emmys. They have changed so much over the years. I thought Nate Bargatze did a pretty darn good job. But
Classy guy.
as they continue to try to condense, because they had gotten extremely long there for a
Right.
while, as they have started to condense and try to really focus on time, I feel like they're still leaning a little too heavily on the host. I want them to give more time to the people who won the awards.
Do you think that is because of the potential wildfire that could be,
Yes.
So they're kind of still limiting the time
Yep. Yes.
so that, I don't know.
exactly
people,
where you're going there. Like, because you never know what's going to come out of somebody's
Right.
unscripted mouth who has
Yeah.
just won something and now has a platform to speak. You never know what is going to come out of their mouth. And I think that
But I also wonder, does the host's speech get eyes by the producing studio as well, or is that something that they don't know what he's going to say until he does it also? You think that is
I would
assume too.
that the majority of what he says has already been pre-approved,
Yes.
pre-scripted. He's reading it now. I mean, obviously, like anything live, you can't necessarily. He could throw something in there,
Right.
but even with as a good a job as he did, I feel like you can tell that a lot of it is pre-scripted.
Yeah, and he did a great job of sort of just keeping it, light and moving the
just
evening
kept it moving
along.
forward.
So I like that. I appreciate any time a host takes the spotlight off of themselves.
Yes.
And tries to be like, you know what, we're here for the awards, and I feel like he did a good job with that. Nikki Glazer did a great job at that last year during the events she hosted as well. So definitely a shift in what's happening with kind of hosting and the time frames and everything. Were you any big surprises this year for you in the winners?
Honestly, not really.
Yeah.
I feel like we've actually kind of figured out, or I've kind of figured out the formula.
You knew what was going to happen before it did?
No, I didn't necessarily know what was going to happen, but I had a pretty solid idea of like, this is who's going to win. This is who's going to win. You know which prestige things are going to win. I was really excited that the studio won a lot. It took a lot.
The studio and the pit.
And the pit is. I was really glad that they got a lot of attention.
And
They
I
really
haven't
deserved it.
watched any of the pit or the studio, and I have access to both, but I haven't watched any of those yet.
So I've only watched a couple of episodes of The Pit, and it is excellent. We've watched all of the studio, and you have got to sit down and watch that.
Is it funny?
It's fantastic. It's really funny. I do wonder some if it got as much attention as it did because it has such a star-studded cast. So many people come through it.
I feel like that's how it was with Only Murders in the Building for the first couple of seasons of that as well. It got a lot of attention.
But it was a good show. Both of them were good shows.
Well,
Adolescence got a lot of attention.
Adolescence did too. I was surprised. I'm a Star Wars guy, and I really like Andor, and it did pick up an award. I'm always surprised when something like that has that, I don't know, name recognition. It is Star Wars, and then it also wins an award for writing, right? Which is something that not a lot of people would associate with a Star Wars kind of creation.
Right.
So
I feel like at this point, most people think Star Wars is pretty much set. Like it's just
we know what it is.
Itself. You know what it is.
Writes itself.
Have you watched Hacks?
Yes, all of
It's
it,
really-
except the most recent season.
I have not. We have not watched the most recent season.
But Jean Smart and Hannah Einbinder both won.
took home awards.
And I've watched Severance, which had 2 acting awards as well,
Yes.
right? So Britt Lauer won, and then Trammell Tillman, I think it's his name.
Yeah.
I
I really like him.
love him. Yeah, we interviewed him Wayback Machine during season 1 of Severance on Good Day in WA.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
I missed that.
Yeah, really sweet guy, and glad to see all his successes. And I eat that show up.
Yes.
Like, I love Severance.
Oh my goodness. That show is a thinker.
Yeah, it's so weird and so great. I love it.
Still, this far past the finale, and I still think back on it. Like, and kind of change my mind on what I think should have happened,
Right.
what I think they meant from it. I go back and forth on it. It's a good one. If you have not seen Severance, you got to get you some Apple TV.
Yeah, get some Apple TV. That's also where you can check out Studio, which, as we were saying, won a lot of things. The Traitors won for Best Reality Competition Program, which is kind of interesting. People are really into that show, and I have to say, I gave up after like 1 episode.
I have not even watched it yet.
Yeah.
And I do like reality TV when I can sit down and just want something kind of, reality TV-ish. But
Right.
I've not watched Traitors yet. I think it's got a very interesting concept to it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then, Colbert won, and
Loved that. Loved
John
seeing
Oliver
that.
also, and then the SNL anniversary special, which I know we promoted a lot, obviously, because of our NBC affiliation. We talked about that special a lot.
They
and
did a really good job with
Yeah.
that special. I thought it did deserve some recognition there. I loved how excited people got for Stephen Colbert
Yes.
when he won. Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen getting the humanitarian award. That was
Right.
really cool.
And Kristen Milotti winning for The Penguin, which is another
Mhm.
excellent series that's on HBO, which is well deserved there as well. And like you said,
Is it back being called HBO?
whatever it's called now, I can't.
I know it's changed a couple times. I don't
Yeah,
remember
HBO Max,
Yeah.
Max, whichever one. You know what I'm talking about.
that
That
channel.
Yeah, yeah. And Adolescence
That
picked up a couple of acting awards
Mhm.
as well as for the series itself. So, yeah, happy big night in Hollywood for all those A-list celebrities, and I'm excited about the shows that are upcoming. I think.
Yeah, it did make me every time I watch the Emmys, I'm like, I've got to add that one to my list. I
Right.
didn't have that on my, I'd heard about it, but I didn't have that on my list. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to add that one
Add
to
it in.
it. It just makes that list keeps
getting longer and
growing.
longer. And then inevitably there are shows on my list and I'm like, I'm not going to watch that right now. And I'll flick around and just
Mhm.
what. And last night I ended up watching Throwback, the Highlander movie.
Oh
Do
my
you remember that movie from the
goodness,
80s?
Yes.
So like I have all of these shows on my
Mhm.
list that are current that I should be watching. And I'm like,
And
you know
yet,
what?
I
gonna go
am
wa- yeah.
gonna go watch a movie from
Yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah, totally. And I did that.
I cannot help every now and then as I'm flicking through to pull up old. I tend to watch the old Disney cartoons.
Do you? The old cartoon, like the movies
Yeah,
or
the
the shows?
movies. The movies. Lady and the Tramp was on the other
Right.
day.
Which one do you, or what collection? Like, give me your like top 3. When you need a little pick me up and you're like, I'm going to go watch this one.
Oh, of like Disney movies?
Yeah,
or
Disney
just,
movies.
Oh, so okay.
Disney specifically.
Disney specifically, The Little Mermaid
Okay,
is my
of course.
all-time favorite. I am a huge
Look at
Winnie
this
the Pooh
stuff.
fan.
Isn't it neat?
I
You're a huge Winnie the Pooh
I am
fan.
a
Okay.
huge Winnie the Pooh fan. And then
Who do you, which character do you identify with most on Winnie the Pooh
Winnie.
in the 100 Acre Wood? You think
Winnie,
you're Winnie?
yes,
Okay.
I'm Winnie.
All right.
I would much rather just pretend to exercise and eat and my honey and be perfectly
Right.
fine with my stitching coming loose.
I'm 100% Tigger, I think.
Oh yes,
I'm the only
I can
one.
totally see that. I can totally see that.
Okay, so you said Little Mermaid,
Little Mermaid,
Winnie the Pooh.
and then Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. Did you like the live action of either of those, Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast? I liked Beauty and the
Honestly,
Beast better.
Beauty and the Beast, I did like better. They did a decent job with that one. They did a pretty good job with that one. I did not like the live action version of the Little Mermaid.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think a lot of people probably would agree with that
Yeah,
sentiment.
I just
It was
didn't-
okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't have any problem with it, but it was like that. Like I didn't hate it, but there it was.
But there it was. It just was.
Yeah.
I let the cartoons be.
A lot of times with these live action remakes, I'm like, we don't have to do them all Disney.
We
don't have to. Let's
We
let the
don't have
cartoon
to.
live by itself.
Yeah,
It's
let's
okay.
just
It's
let
good
it
enough.
Be. Just let it be. Aladdin didn't need to be live action.
Right.
I am perfectly fine leaving the genie as a cartoon.
Sure.
Uh,
Yes.
Let's just let them go.
I don't know how we got on
Let
this
'em go.
tangent.
I don't either, but we
here
so
we are.
did.
Yes.
Speaking of old things that are coming back,
Tell me.
though, the Babysitters Club.
Right. We're gonna bring that up.
It is becoming a musical. The same songwriter from K-pop Demon Hunter
Okay.
is taking on the Babysitter Club series and turning it into a Broadway musical. It is slated to come out in spring of 2027. So I can't imagine. Did you read the Babysitter Club?
No, I didn't.
books?
But I was aware of the Babysitters
Yeah.
Club.
So these were huge when I was younger. They started in '86.
That's
and
the year the Highlander came out.
It's
It's a big theme on today's show.
Big theme. But they were super, super, super popular, and they're still popular. They're still around. They came out with a TV series about them. The musical picks up 12 years after the disbanding of the Babysitters Club, and all of the founding members returned to Stony Brook in honor of a pact that they made when they were 13. So now they're all 25.
Okay.
The young women realize over the course of the show that the reunion not only presents an opportunity to revisit defining moments of their past, but to answer critical questions that have surfaced in their present day lives. Questions of identity, career, relationship, and fulfillment. It kind of sounds wholesome and fantastic.
Yeah. It sounds, and I love Broadway, 100%.
Oh, yes.
So I cannot wait to see this on its feet
It has some
in a
great
musical.
names behind it, specifically music and lyrics by Mark Stonehenbleck, who did K-pop Demon Hunter.
Right.
Um,
That's all
I'm
you have to
excited.
say, really. I mean, K-pop Demon Hunter kind of took over the world. Every time I go on Apple Music,
Mhm.
which I go on rarely, but I go on to see what the top 20 songs are on Apple
Yeah.
Music, it's always K-pop Demon Hunter. It has
is.
been K-pop Demon Hunters since that movie came out. It is the #1 album on iTunes for months.
So, do you feel like we had this conversation in our household the other day? Do you feel like things sit at the top of a chart more now, specifically like the entire album as opposed to a single song, because of the way we get music now through
We
streaming
digest
as opposed to the radio?
Maybe. I wonder though, streaming is having its moment, right? So
Mhm.
like that's what we're doing now. But I
Yeah.
think the same case could be made when it was the heyday of the CD. I think that the CD would have been
Okay.
#1 on the chart when it was, because there was no streaming, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think we just kind of go through, waves and crashes with that maybe. But the albums do seem to be up there for a while, especially with this one, very popular, and people
Mhm.
are streaming all the songs at one time. So,
I mean, I think that's how everybody knows all the words to Hamilton, even though
oh yeah,
a lot of people have not actually seen it.
I know. I also think that is due a little bit in part to the pandemic because
Yeah,
it hit
yeah.
its stride
Mhm.
and came into the consciousness, a cultural touchstone, if you will, during the pandemic because we were all sitting around with nothing to do,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden this musical became really popular.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think about it that way, but I think you're right.
I cannot think of anything I did more during the pandemic than watch or listen to Hamilton. Honestly, so much Hamilton.
At that time, my 5 and 7-year-olds who had no idea what they were saying and who they
Yeah,
were singing
of
about
course.
were singing it.
Yes, of course. That totally makes sense. It was that, and then what's that movie? Encanto,
Mm-hmm.
which is also Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yep.
But we don't talk about Bruno and all of that. I feel like that was kind of like that was
We
when
don't talk about Bruno.
exactly when the pandemic was dying down, but we were still kind of like locked into streaming.
Yeah.
And then I don't know,
Lots of TV watching happened. Lots of music listening happened.
so much.
during that time period.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about another streaming show that was really popular this summer. Well, there's going to be a new book coming out about it. The author has revealed a release date and maybe a picture at the cover. So we're going to have that story for you when we come back with more right about now.
3, 4. One, two, three, four.
All right, everybody, we're back.
We're back.
We back. Okay. You were excited about this because you've read the books.
I have read the books.
The novellas. They're not.
Yes, they're books. Novellas.
I mean,
they're novellas.
what are they,
it
like
just
40
means
pages?
That they're not. Yeah, they're like 10 pages
Yeah,
each. It just
got it.
means that they're not super long,
Right.
which is fine.
Sure.
A story doesn't have to be massive to be impactful. The Murderbot books.
Okay, it's a series, right? And
It is a series by Martha Wells.
Yes, and then it became a TV series.
Became a streaming
Streaming,
TV
yeah.
series on Apple TV, with Alexander Skarsgård playing Murderbot. The Murderbot Diaries is the series. There are 7 books currently out. There's an 8th one that was just announced, and the cover art just came out for it. It's supposed to come out in 2026. And it's called Platform Decay. And Martha Wells, the author, describes it as a road trip from hell.
Oh gosh,
So
what are we doing?
so the thing is that if you've ever read the Murderbot Diaries or you have watched the show, you realize that So he is what's called a sec unit.
You got to break this down because
Right.
we're looking at the trailer right now for the Apple original series, just
Yeah.
so you know what we're looking at. What is this about? He is a bot.
Right. So he is a bot, but he has figured out how to hack his control module so that he can think for himself. He's no
Okay.
longer AI. He can do his
Do the
own
people
thing.
around him know that he?
It takes a long time for the people around him to figure it out. He's able to hide it for a very, very long time. But then in as you're going through these books, one of these groups starts to kind of figure out that something's going on with him. And he finally opens up to them and they realize that he is not just another one of these sec units,
Okay.
that he actually can think for himself. And then you start to get into the dynamics of him trying to figure out how to interact with humans and not be weird and not let the rest of the world, because the big fear is if
Everybody
all of the
finds out.
corporations find out that he has hacked his control module, that he will be taken over.
And I'm assuming
made
there's
to
going to
go
be
back.
some kind of a bad guy who kind of is suspicious that
Yes.
he might be
so
something in his.
this is obviously science fiction, and you're off in the space
What?
world, and there are corporations that are evil, that are trying to do all of these bad things and take over all of these spaces. And so most of the adventures that he gets into have to do with trying to break down one of these corruption schemes, protect the people that he has that have kind of become his family. And in this new one, they are going on a road trip, and he has
Okay.
volunteered for this road trip rescue mission and is having to spend a lot more time in very close quarters with humans than he would like. And in this one, he's actually dealing with children. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how he handles it.
What's the new book going to be called?
The new book is called Platform Decay.
Okay, I see it right here, and we're looking at the cover of it. Great. I also see they list out all the books, or the novellas they call them, or novels, in order. There's also a few short stories. You said you've also read the
I
collection
have read
of short
the
stories.
collection of short stories because I am that kind of nerd.
You're all up in it.
I'm all
Do you
up
own
in it.
these? Can I borrow them, or do you just?
We borrowed all of these from the library.
Oh,
I'm
good-
actually
good
surprised we
use.
don't own these. This seems like a series that we
Yeah,
would
invest
own.
in.
But we borrowed all of these from the library. You can get them at the Fayetteville Public Library.
Nice.
It's a
Yes, of course.
fantastic spot to go. You don't necessarily have to go in order with these books. You can read them out of order. It does make a little bit more sense if you go in order. It's gonna get a little redundant if you kind of go backward. But Rogue Protocol is my favorite, in case you were worried, and you
Let me
wanted to know.
see. Well, that's the third one.
It is.
says here.
It's the third one.
Yeah.
That's where it really starts to, where the humans that he is around are really starting to figure out that there is something different and special, and they start to figure out how to interact with each other in a real way. So that's where it really starts to take off in a different direction.
Do you know if you've read them all?
Yes.
What's the longest one? Like, how do you have any idea how long it was? I'm just curious.
Probably the last one. Fugitive Telemetry, I think, is the last one.
Okay.
I feel like they got longer.
The longer as they
went.
went on, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're excited about this? Maybe
I'm
I'll start by
pumped.
watching.
Definitely, you could start by watching.
Do you know which book the series follows? Does it follow one book, or is it a collection?
It starts at the beginning, from what I understand. It
Okay.
starts at All Systems Red, and I don't know if it just sticks with that or if it continues into other books, because I have not actually watched it yet. I was very nervous. I've heard really great things about it, and I really like Alexander Skarsgård. But
Yeah.
it's like watching the movie of the book, and you loved the book, and then you go to watch the movie, and they didn't see it the way you
Right. Of
saw it.
course.
And
yes.
there's so much inner dialogue
Yeah.
that's happening
Of course.
with Murderbot that I wasn't letting myself be very trusting, but I have heard absolutely wonderful things about it, and so it is on my list to go and
Okay.
watch.
Yeah. You got to check it out then.
What kind of books are you into? Do you read sci-fi books?
Yes.
Have you read Station 11?
Yes.
Excellent one.
Yes.
The Expanse series is also another one that is.
I just watched the Expanse series. I didn't know what that was until it
Yeah.
came out on Prime, and then I was in too deep watching it to.
Oh,
check
it's
it
hard.
out.
Yeah, hard to go back.
I tell you
It's
what
a
I'm
good
really
one.
into. and this might throw you for a loop.
Okay.
First of all, I'm into horror, so like anything that's horror, I'm gonna read it.
I mean, I could see it.
So Stephen King is like my, he is my guy.
Mhm.
But I do like sci-fi. I read books by an author named Adrian Tchaikovsky when it comes to sci-fi.
Okay.
So he writes about insects, which sounds so gross. But I gotta tell you, it is fascinating. So I read this book series. He started off writing fantasy. So he would write fantasy about these insects, and they were battling it out on these planets, and they were in these different factions and whatever. I did not read that series, but I know that was he got his start. I started reading, he won the Hugo Award for Children of, I can't, they're all named Children of something. There's 4 of them now. The Children of Time, I think, is the first one. So Children of Time is this book about these insects that exist. So like, I don't know, think of like centipede, spider kind of weird things that are the aliens on another planet. The interesting thing about them, you're getting me really into this now.
I can't
I'm
wait.
sure our viewing audience
I
is
love
thrilled.
it.
They pass on everything to their offspring, including their name. So like if I was to have a son, the son's name would be Jason. Jason would know everything that I know and also have its own experiences. So when Jason has
Jason is
has
born that
another
way.
Jason, he would have all of that, right?
Okay.
So the series goes through these centuries later, and you're still dealing with the same character name. So
Okay.
it's still like Sylvia.
I feel like
but-
that could.
It's fascinating, but Sylvia has all of the memories of all of the Sylvias
Okay.
and all of the knowledge of all of the Sylvias.
So even though you're moving in generations,
Yes.
you're still holding on to the original.
So the hard part
story.
about the book is the moving in generations,
Okay.
because you have to like turn a corner in your brain that like, oh, this is 500 years later.
Right. So
The-
this is Jason number.
Right. And the hard part is that the author doesn't call it, Sylvia number 5. It's
Oh, of course.
just
Yeah, it's just
Sylvia
Sylvia.
again. And the problems that Sylvia faces are different than the problems that the other Sylvia face,
Well,
right?
because it's 500 years later.
Exactly. So anyway, it's a fascinating read, and I got into that series. I think there are 4 books, maybe 5 books out now.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to have to look into it.
yeah, Adrian Tchaikovsky with a T.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
To Tchaikovsky.
What, extra letters.
I know.
They're on extra letters and on words. It
So that's
doesn't work for
one
me.
sci-fi series that I was really into. I just read Project Hail Mary.
Oh, that's
also,
a good one.
which
yeah.
is fantastic, and I'm
Mhm.
very excited for that movie. That was my favorite read from the summer. I read that one, and I read another book about a shipwreck, which was awesome. It's called, what's it called? I'll pull it up so that I don't get the name wrong. It's about the madness of something. They go
So-
to Antarctica.
Okay. Yeah. Is it? And it was it's based on a true story.
Yes, based on a true story.
So I tried to read this.
yes.
Dean, my husband, loved this book.
Yes.
I tried to read it, and I couldn't. I couldn't do it.
The Mad House at the end of the
I couldn't.
at the end of the world, end of the earth. The Mad House at the end of the earth. The Belgica's journey into the dark Arctic night. So it was a fantastic book. It was about these people who go to Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's
Mhm.
it. There's a lot of stories about shipwrecks and things like that. The Terror is also a book that is based on a similar theme.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of the fascinating thing about this one is that it was written by a New York Times, journalist.
Yeah.
So he went and researched all of this factual information and sort of used all of the facts and weaved all of that information into a narrative. Obviously, you have to take a little bit of poetic license to kind of bridge the gap between what you know and what you think could have happened.
I
and
mean,
all of
yeah,
that.
obviously, because nobody was sitting there
Right.
acting a stenographer and just taking notes on everything everybody
Right.
said.
And it was kind of dense, and it wasn't like the easiest language to get through. But if you're able to turn
Yes.
that corner and break through, I think that
And
what
that's the part
happened
I
to
could
those
not
people.
get through.
Yeah.
I could not.
when you get to
I was
the
having
end
to
of
work
that
really
book
hard.
and you look back at all of the people who were on that ship,
Mhm.
and all of the things they accomplished because they went on that boat ride, I'll say. It's fascinating.
3-hour tour.
Yes. It's fascinating at how accomplished they became by the end of their lives. Some of them. And then some of them went the other direction and went mad.
Yeah.
So, being in extreme circumstances does a lot, I guess, to you.
It plays on different people different ways.
Yeah.
And
100%.
it is interesting to see how the exact same situation
Yes.
can turn two different people to completely different directions.
Yes.
So it's one of those I wish that I had been able to sit there and read. I couldn't do it.
Maybe there's a movie coming out about that at some point. I
Yeah,
don't know,
that I'd
but
watch.
it's a great little story.
Yeah.
Speaking of a great little story, it's a love story. Baby, just say yes. Have you heard about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting engaged?
I have.
You have?
I don't live under a rock.
I didn't know if that made it across your wire with the Birkenstock talk and Murderbots.
I mean, I am very eclectic. I get a lot of stuff. That one did not miss me.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I have followed along. So when I say followed along, I've been aware of their relationship.
Well, check this out.
Yeah.
So we're looking at footage right now. We all know that Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, now engaged, and that match made in heaven is now being celebrated with a maze made in corn. That's right. A farmer in Belton, Missouri, teamed up with a company called Precision Mazes to create a unique corn maze honoring the iconic social media post where Taylor and Travis announced their engagement to the world. So this took 9 hours to transform the 9-anchor blank space into the work of art that you can see right there. The maze is now open to the public. Organizers say they would love to see some first dates at the maze lead to more marriages.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yes. So anyway, cool corn mazes. It's that time of year. Everybody's doing their thing. And this one is celebrating Travis and Taylor.
Corn mazes are really cool. They are really, really neat. And it is the way they can do them now. This is so intricate.
When I read that, and I was like, 9 hours, and the story sets it up and makes it sound like 9 hours is a long time, but to me, I'm like,
that does not feel like, when I'm looking at this image,
a corn maze, I'm like, that should take you
How?
longer than 9 hours. Were those tractors powered by bots?
Well,
Murderbots.
I think now they do a lot of it with AI technology.
They do. It's like the first time when you pull back the curtain, right? It's like going to Oz. It's like when I was in the 8th grade and I realized that my band director used a computer program to help figure out marching bands where we were going to stand on the field. I was like, that doesn't come out of your brain?
What?
It blows my mind.
You're not like somehow visualizing on top of us what
Right.
all
You
of this
can't bird's eye
looks
perspective
like?
this thing. You have to use a computer
Oh my
program.
goodness.
Get out of here.
Man.
So 9 hours doesn't seem like a long time, but it does seem like, hey, let's capitalize on a moment, which I can appreciate for
Yes.
these farmers. And we all know farmers are, I don't know if I want to say falling on tough times, but the industry isn't what it once was. So
Right. They got to come up with other stuff.
especially in the off season.
Mhm.
So now is the time to, chop down those corn stalks.
Once you have gotten all of that summer corn off and we are out of all the summer corn, now
Yeah.
you got to do something with your field.
Speaking of, have you ever read Children of the Corn?
I have not read.
It's a
Children of
novella,
the
by the way, so
Oh,
it's
see,
right up your
okay, so
alley.
it's right up my alley.
It's not that
short
long.
enough.
You can go read it right now.
I am aware of Children of the Corn. We make the comments about Children of the Corn.
Uh-huh.
Because I grew up in South Arkansas where
Yeah.
we had these big cornfields, and you would always make jokes about the Children of the Corn, but I have
Yes.
not read it. Mm-mm,
I can't
to
remember.
do that, maybe. I'm
okay.
not huge into horror and scary.
You should be.
don't- I
It's the
have-
best. Oh,
That's
Isaac.
scary.
Isaac was the bad guy. I was trying to remember his name. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We still got more to discuss, though, when we come back.
So much more.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look. I've got something to reveal for fans of Friends.
Oh.
Had to get that cough out.
I'm a Friends fan.
You're going to love this. Stay with
Okay.
us. More coming up in just a bit.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Welcome back in, everybody. I went to get a cough drop.
You did.
I think it's so obvious that I have to say something about it, or people are going to be like, "What's in his mouth?"
He's definitely got something in there.
Yes. Hey, Friends. Let's talk about this.
Let's
Friends
talk about it.
fans. Are you okay? Are you a
Yes.
Friends fan? Number one.
Pivot.
Pivot.
Yes,
I'm about
I'm
to
a
use that
Friends fan.
reference. You
Oh no!
jumped the gun.
I ruined it for you.
You
I'm
ruined.
so-
You ruined my joke.
so
This story's over.
sorry.
I'm out of here. I can't work under these
Son of a-
conditions. Okay, let's just get to it. Yes. All right. So if you are in New York City this fall, you need to pivot. Thank you. I'm going to pause for laughter. And head to Times Square,
Mhm.
a new chance for Friends fans to hang out just like Joey, Phoebe, and the gang. The Central Perk Coffee House is coming to New York Times Square. It's the second real-life version of the iconic sitcom spot after the popular Boston location. Set to open in the fall, the new Central Perk will be a contemporary take on the hot spot, but with authentic touches like the big orange sofa to evoke the spirit of the original. So, they're going to have a little pop-up there in Times Square, Central Perk.
I
It's gonna be
think
full of
this is
tourists.
fun. It is going to be such a tourist trap.
Yeah.
But if I do happen to make it to New York in the time frame that this pop up is here, I gotta say I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna try to get to sit on this big
Orange
sofa, which is, I mean, definitely bigger than the one in the original. But it otherwise, I get where they're going here.
Yeah, they want people to come out and celebrate Friends. I was just watching a movie last night, and I commented that I miss New York. I've never lived in New York, but I just kind of miss the vibe of New York. I don't feel like I'm watching any shows right now based in New York. I don't know. I'm just kind of.
I feel like there's not a lot based in New York right
Remember,
now.
we had back in our day, we had Seinfeld on all the time. We had Friends. Maybe more me than you. I don't know.
No, and totally, I can quote Seinfeld just as
Right.
much as I can quote
Yeah,
Friends.
these pretzels are making me thirsty. There was just so much that was based in New York, and
Mhm.
and now we get New York touches, right? So it's like I don't know, Batman.
Yes,
Gotham City. It kind of looks like New York, and you're like,
Yeah.
but it's not New York.
but it's not New York. New York, I've only visited. I've never lived there.
Mhm.
But even when you visit, I feel like it is exactly what in your brain you would create New York as. It
Yes.
is when I think of a big city.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. That's the one.
You walk everywhere. There's, all your different shops that you need are much smaller. You're not just running into a giant super Walmart. You're running into a much smaller grocery store and getting what you need and
Yeah.
and popping back out. And you've got coffee shops and you've got restaurants and you've got just people everywhere. And
everywhere.
somehow, even though they are not paying attention to you or anybody else, they're not running into each other either. Everything just keeps flowing and noise all the time. I think it's such a neat
It's
city.
fun. It's a neat city. It's fun to visit.
Mhm.
I think we need to get back there.
Mhm.
I would love that.
So come up with some reason that Good Day needs to make.
We would love to do
trip.
Good Day NYC. Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
amazing?
that would
We could
be awesome.
release the
Can
new
I
Broadway
co-host
season.
with you?
Yeah,
I'll
that
be
day.
the third. Mackenzie can still come too.
Yeah, of course.
I'll just be a third wheel.
Yeah, you could third wheel. We could pack you in our
I
suitcase.
like it. I'd fit.
Yeah, maybe yes. I would crunch myself into a suitcase
But
to
see,
get there more
Jason, if
regularly.
you go to New York and you go to this Central Perk pop up,
Mm-hmm.
you are not a coffee drinker, but
I know.
are you going to get
Yeah.
the giant cappuccino mug
Yeah, of course.
that they have?
I mean, I would order myself a hazelnut latte. That used to be my drink.
Okay.
Whenever I drank, I'd be like hazelnut latte, skim milk.
I used to pretend that
Like
Books
that
a Million,
matters.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I used to pretend that Books a Million was my Central Perk.
Yeah, Books a Million. Did those exist anymore?
I honestly don't know
I
that
don't know
those
either.
are even around anymore. But that
The
was
last one I went
what you
to was in
did.
Texarkana,
Mhm.
and
we used to go to Monroe
okay, used to go all the way to Louisiana
all
for
the way
that.
to Louisiana.
You gotta go to Louisiana to get the good books.
You do.
It's like you gotta go to
do.
Missouri if you want to get liquor. You know how that used to be a
Yes,
thing
that
here.
used to be the thing. That's where you went. That's where Macadoodle's just right over the border.
Yeah, you just got to go over the border. Okay, I got one more story to bring up, and I'm kind of excited about this one. This news just dropped this week,
Okay.
which makes it even more exciting.
What is
so,
it? Can I ruin it too?
Uh, probably. My anaconda don't want.
None
Okay.
unless you.
Yeah. Big news for movie fans. Sony dropped the first trailer for Anaconda. It is a wild reboot of the 1997 creature thriller starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd this time. So in this version, Black and Rudd play lifelong best friends who set out to remake their childhood favorite film, 1997's Anaconda.
Anaconda.
What starts as a midlife passion project turns deadly fast when a real giant snake shows up on the set. The cast also includes Tendiwa Newton, Steve Zahn, Selton Mello, and Daniela Melchior, with Anaconda set to slither into theaters. Guess when?
When, Jason?
Christmas
When?
Day this year.
Is this going to be your Christmas Day movie?
Nothing says have a holly jolly Christmas like a big old snake.
A big old snake.
Yes, but I love many of the actors in this thing.
What?
So
I'm
excited.
looking at this, and what is this image? I guess I didn't watch the original Anaconda.
Is it Jack Black with a pig
It's
on his
Jack
back?
Black with a pig on his back.
Yeah.
What is
So if you watch the
that?
trailer, they think that I don't know. They think that Jack Black is dead,
Okay.
and so they prop him up in this field to use him as bait.
Oh.
Then he wakes up
Okay. All right.
from whatever it is. So,
they don't even try to Weekend at Bernie's him. They just are trying
no,
to use
they
him.
don't. They
Got
they
it.
totally try to use him as bait. They
Okay.
think he's dead, so they prop him up and they put a pig on his back to make it even more enticing. And I don't know. I guess craziness ensues. I just think it's funny because that's like something that me and my cousins would do. Try to remake a movie that we had loved from our childhood.
We actually did try to do that when we were
Oh, yes.
when we
Tell
were
me more.
younger. My brother loved to. He had a video camera and he loved to make movies, and we did. We would remake movies that we liked. We would come up with new ones. We always had his favorite was we had a French project his senior year, and so we remade little scenes from a bunch of movies. Transformers.
What did you dress
what
up
else
as?
Did we use?
What do you remember?
I was Bumblebee from Transformers.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember what we did. So many. We did the Princess Bride,
Ooh,
and I was
as you wish.
Buttercup. And we had to do it all in
Buttercup.
French. So we had to translate it all, and then we did it all in French.
But
then we
formal
did it as
names,
a
you just
bad-
said the name, right? You would
yes,
just say
formal
Buttercup.
names. We just
Okay.
said Buttercup. But then we did it. So we actually did it as like a bad dub over.
Oh, perfect.
So we said all of our words, but you didn't hear us. But then we went back and
Je
redid the voices.
m'appelle Buttercup.
It was so much fun. That video is probably still somewhere.
Ça va? Were you trying to like
around.
relearning French?
Yes, we were in French class.
Ça va bien.
Yeah.
Ça va bien. Ça va. It's not bien. That's Spanish. What
So
is-
here's the thing. I took French for 4 years,
Same.
2 in high school and 2 in
we're
college.
going to show you the same thing right
and
now. Go
I
ahead.
don't think I could tell you how to get yourself to the bathroom.
How
Like,
about how about this? This is what I did.
okay.
I took 2 years of French in high school.
Uh-huh.
I took a year of Spanish in college,
Okay.
and then another year of French. So when people talk to me about
You're
foreign language,
so useful.
they are just like really combined.
Yes.
You know?
It all starts. Well, the romantic languages to me, and y'all don't at me, okay? Don't
I'm
at
adding
me.
you.
I really struggle with wrapping my mouth around the words.
Same.
Whether it's Spanish, whether it's French, I don't feel like I can make the vowel sounds. I'm more of a Germanic.
Oh, you just like to
type
grunt.
I do.
I
I
like
like those
that.
hard consonants. I tried so hard. I really, really, really want to be able to speak other languages. I really
I do too. I hate being an American in the room who can
I
only speak
do.
because I
I
have such an
really hate
appreciation for
that.
so many other cultures, and I feel like the most appreciation you can show is by learning a few words in their language, and then I get to France and I'm like,
And I'm like,
"Ugh,
blah, blah,
where's
blah,
the
blah, blah, blah,
bathroom?"
right? I can't.
sounds so
I
American.
cannot pull it out while I'm sitting there doing my Duolingo.
Yes,
I got it.
Totally,
I got it.
Totally.
I cannot pull it out when I have to, and that just drives me crazy.
Well, you know what? It's going to drive you crazy that this show is over
Oh,
because we're out of
no.
time. That's right. Betsy, you got to come back next week so we can do this again. Tons of fun.
Of course, I have a
You-
blast.
You always bring the best stories. I'm going to go back right now and start buying shoes on this Birkenstock website.
I've still got it pulled up. It's
Awesome.
right there.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, as we say every week, you can't be right about everything, but you can be
Right about
now.
now.
That's it. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
2,